for those two lines. So I have this graph, as you can see, parallel line, two lines remain the same, distant apart at all time and never intersect. As you can see, A and B, C and D, they all goes together, but they never intercept. And this is a symbol of it, how the parallel line, this is the distance from A to B is parallel to distance from C to D. Now, for the perpendicular line that you have two lines that intersect and form the right angles, right? So as you can see, you see distance from P to Q, which is distance. Perpendicular line symbol is like this line, like that, and is perpendicular to with um, distance from M to N. That's a sign for perpendicular. And this is just also just an intersection line. I have the draw for it. Intersection line meet, and then this one they cross each other. As we can say, line distance from S to T intersect U to V. So those are the line. That's just that. And I have some examples that I put together that we can look at it. We can start with parallel line. Problem, I have example problem one. And if you have also some topic or examples, we can go after these examples. Any of y'all, if you have any questions, please, you can ask while I'm going through the problem. So I'll do the example number problem one, which I have find an equation of the line that passes through the point 2, -1, and is parallel to the line x, let me, to the line 3x minus 2y equal to 5. So that's the example problem one that we're gonna look into it, and then we do that. Then after I do go through this one, then we can do example. Yeah, I will try example 1, 2, and 3 for parallel. Then we move on to perpendicular example as well. Uh, so for the problem number one, where they say to find equation of the line pass through the point uh, 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 the point I take that one back. I think the problem 2 and 3. I think I put, yeah, 2 and 3. That is parallel to 3x minus 2y equal to 5. So let me write the equation here. Let me know if y'all can see. Y'all can still. I'm sharing the same screen. But so we have the equation is 3x, right? So we have 3x minus 2y, right? Equal 5. So the question is find the equation of the line that passes through the point 2 and 3, which is parallel to 3x minus 2. So we are looking for 2 and 3. So this is 2. Okay. For do that, you remember if we really want to calculate the slope, everybody know the equation of the slope. So we know that I'm going to write the equation of the slope, which is y equal to mx, right? What is it? Plus b. So that's the equation of the x. So we're going to try to write the equations so we can know what our slope is. So how we do that? So we know that 2y. So we're gonna move. You can do it how you want it. You can move the 2y's on this side and bring the 5 on this side, whichever one you want. So I'm gonna get a. I need to have 3x. I would move that one on the other side, or just leave that one and move 2y on the other side. So I do it usually. I like this way. So I'm gonna put 2y, right? So I'm moving this side, right? So equal to 3x. So when you move to the other side, you get it opposite sign, right? And then the 5, I move to this side. So when it coming in, it would be what? -5, right? So you have um, 2y equal to 3x minus 5, right? So that's another way. Also, you can multiply each section by negative as well. So you can do it this way as well. So on that one, then we need a y. So what do? You divide everything by 2, right? Hmm? So you can do that, right? So you get a y equal to what? 3, right? 3 over 2 x, right? Minus 5 over 2, right? So this is, then what is our slope? So the slope is equal to 3 over 2, right? So this is a slope. So your slope is equal to 3 over 2, right? So that's the slope of that equations, right? So now we're gonna look into the given point 2 to 3, right? So we use the slope from the equation of the line for the given point 2 to 3, right? So we can also check that. So what is it, right? So if you really want, you can put, we know that, so we're gonna write these equations, right? So if you have equation, this is your x, this is your y. So you know you have the other equation of slope, right? So it's y minus, right? Y1, right? Equal to, right? Equal to slope, right? If you want m, equal to x minus x1, right? So that one is your other equation of line with 2 points. So we're gonna apply that formula here, and then so we get to y. So our point is 2 and 3, right? So it's gonna be x minus 3, right? So using the slope of the equation of the line, right? So your x equal to minus y minus 3 is equal to, right? 3 over 2, right? X minus 2, right? So then your y is equal to, you put -3 each side. So you're gonna have y is equal to 3 over 2, right? X minus 2 plus 3, which is also give you y equal 3 over 2x minus what, 6 over 2, right? 6/2. Then you have plus 3. So that will give you y equal 3/2 x. So then this is your other equations. And as you can see, the slope is also what? 3/2. So if we got that, I'm going to get uh, the line. So that's what you have. So any question so far, Anastasia? Do you have any question?
No, not really.
Okay. So if you will remember the definition, that's what that get us to here, right? So do you know why we put 3/2 in here in these equations? Can y'all know why we did that, right? Because we use a definition of two equations are in parallel. If slope one, which is this is your slope m1, is equal to m2, right? So this is your m2. So that's the equation we use. So then we apply this equation. So this is your m2, this is m1, whatever. So with m1, we calculate that. Then m1 equal m2. So we use this equation to put 3/2. So if you do that graph, I'm gonna do the graph. So for y'all can see it. Um, Give me a second. I'm pulling out the graph. So this is the one we just um, did it. I'm just copying what we did here. And now I'm gonna do the graph for that particular one, as you can see. So if you have lines like that, right? So you have um, so the graph that I'm gonna do right now is we have 0.23, right? If everybody remember is 2, 3, right? And then we also have the equations 2x, 3x, right? 3x minus 2y equal 5. That was the other one. So if you wanna graph this, usually, as you can see from x, if you can put point numbers, right? So you can see your point. This is your x, and this is your y. So you have x is equal to 2, and if this is 3, let's put that one, and your y is equal to 3. So your line gonna pass by this line. So 2 to 3. So your line will look like something like this. This line would look like something like that. And the other line for this one as well, you can give it values. If your y, like I said, if you want, you give the different value to the x and y. But this graph would should look like something like that. Um, it should look like something like that. So this one would be, and this one would be your 3x. Oh, sorry. Um, this one will be your 3x minus 2y equal to 5. So that's why the two lines are parallel. It's like when you are on the freeway and you will see when you're on the side of the freeway, you will see the other people on the opposite side of the freeway will go to the side, right? So that's how the parallel is. So now I'll go with the example one. So any questions so far? It's straightforward. Okay. All right. So we're gonna move to the example one, if everybody can see. So write an equation of the line that passes through point -3, 6, and is parallel to x axis. Um, I will everybody let try for about 2 minutes and to just have a thought how to do it, and then we will go over that example one. So Anastasia, if anybody also is on the line, try for maybe 2 minutes, and then we'll go over that one as well. All right, thanks. I'm back. Um, I'm back. Anastasia, do you have any guess?
Yes.
Okay.
For example, one, right?
Yeah, example one. Let me
Um,
just put this. Yes, example one. Write an equation of the line that passed through point -3, 6, and is parallel to x.
for my answer, I got y equals 6.
That's perfect. Um, would you mind going us through how did you get that particular one?
Okay. So what I first did was I drew a graph
Okay, so a graph
and I
like that.
create yeah, and I created
Okay,
the x and the y axis,
okay,
and then I created the points like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and
okay,
-3
okay.
in the graph.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Okay,
the question was parallel to the
right.
x-axis,
Mm-hmm.
and the x-axis goes across. and y equals 6, because 6
Right.
was parallel to the y axis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got my answer.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Good job. So when they say the line is parallel to the x-axis, that means that your line should look like something like that, right? So line parallel to x-axis, that means your line would look like something like that. Just an example, and that means that your slope m is equal to 0, right? So we all know that they say if slope the line are parallel if slope 1 and slope 2 are equal, right? So that means that slope 1 equal to slope 2 is equal to 0, right? So because it's parallel to the x-axis. So if you want, you can also write your equations like we mentioned, y minus y1, right, equal to m of x, right, minus x1, right? Let me here. So x minus x1. So you can write it that way. So your y minus this is your x1, right? And then this is your y1. So y minus 6 is equal to 0, right? Time x minus, which is minus 3, which is like that. So all this section is 0. So your y minus 6 is equal to 0. So if you minus 6 each side, plus 6 each side, so that will give you y equals 6. Thanks, Anastasia. That was good. So, all right. Now let's look into. I will move to example. We did number 1. So let's do example number 2. Let's try that for 2 minutes, Anastasia, or anybody online. Then we will do example 3. Then we'll move on to perpendicular as well. So example 2 is write an equation of the line that pass through the point 1, 3, and is parallel to line y equal to negative 1 over 2x plus 1. So example 2, let's try that for 2 minutes. All right, Anastasia, you almost there, or anybody have a guess?
I'm done.
You done? Wow.
Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
done.
All right. So, what did you get? What was the slope that you got?
I got y equals negative 1/2 x plus 7 over 2.
That's perfect. All right. So, hmm, that's perfect. Um, all right. Would you mind again walking us through how you get that one?
Okay, so I started with my slope, and
Okay.
since the question asked that it was parallel,
Mm-hmm.
I did m equals negative 1/2 x, and then I
Okay.
wrote down my ordered pair. And since I wanted to solve the problem, I did y equals mx plus b,
Okay.
and I put in all the like numbers. So I did 3 equals negative 1/2
Mm-hmm.
times 1 plus
Mm-hmm.
b.
Mm-hmm.
And then I already knew that negative 1/2 times 1 would still be negative 1/2. So I
Mm-hmm.
did 3 equals negative 1/2 plus b. And then I added 1/2 to both sides to cancel out the negative 1/2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got 3 and 1/2 equals b. And then I did Texas, which is basically turning it into an improper fraction. And I
Mm-hmm.
got 7 over 2 equals b. And
Gotcha.
then
But
I put it, I put it all together, and I
mm-hmm.
got y equals negative 1/2 x plus 7 over
Mm-hmm.
2.
Right. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So we have two. One. This is 1 point. This is another point. So the question is, prove that these two um are parallel, right? And we all know the two lines in parallel if slope one equal to slope two, right? So in here we can look at this equation. This is equation of the line already, right? So we know that in this equation our slope m1 is equal to negative 1 over 2. So we now saying that when we now know m1 is equal to m2 and is equal to negative 1 over 2, right? So now we're going to write this one as equations, and then we know we're going to prove this one as well. So we know our equations, right? So y equal to y1, y minus y1 is equal to m, the x, right? Minus x1. And we know that this is our x1 and this is y1. So that will give you y minus 3 is equal to, this is our slope, m1 equal m2, right? So minus 1 over 2 x minus, which is our x1, which is 1, right? So now you have y. So we're going to put negative 3 each side. So you have y equal to plus minus 1 over 2, right? X minus 1, then plus 3, right? So now that will give us y equal to negative 1 over 2 x, right? Plus 1 over 2, right? Plus 3. So that will give you negative 1 over 2x. So this is plus, oh, sorry, 7 over 2. So that's give us this. All right, so this is our equations. Thank you. So that's how I did it, and that's how um, the main point of this, we always have to remember the equation of the slope, equation of the line with the slope. Remember, we even if we wake you up in the morning, and you can just like so make sure that you know your equations, line of equations with the slope, memorize it. Even if you wake up in the morning, you know what it is, right? So this is one with the 2 point, and this will also y equal to mx plus b. So those are the equations. So now we're gonna move to the example 3 also. So I'm gonna make this big a little bit. Example 3, which is write an equation again. We're still on under parallel of the line that pass through 1, 2, and is parallel to the line that pass through negative 3, and negative 1, 3, and 2, 6. So now this is a little bit, maybe just a little bit of work that we need to do, but it's the same. If you apply the same concept and we get the same, is the same thing. So let's try to do that. And I give another maybe 2 minutes. Then we move on to perpendicular. And we get some. If you have homework question, we do that. So let's try example 3 for this one for 2 more minutes. All right. So what did we get? Example three. What did we get?
For example 3, I got y equals x plus 1.
Anastasia, good job. I like it. Yes. All right. Let's see your methodology. Am I doing this? Is your is you feel like my methodology work or yours is better? Either way, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
If
yours is different. Yours is different.
it's different, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then let's check your methodology. So it's good to have two methodologies, but make sure that whatever methodology that you have, if you master that, then that's what matter. All right, let's go. Let's see what is your methodology. Okay.
Okay. So for for example 3, you gave us 2 points and they were both yeah. So I did the y2 minus y1 over
Mhm.
x2 minus x1,
Mhm.
and then I got 3 over, well, so I did 6 minus 3 over 2 minus 1,
Mhm.
and I got 3 over 3, which equals to 1.
Okay.
And again, I did y equals mx plus b. I mean,
Okay.
you could do the slope, you could do the point slope form if you want.
Mhm.
And I used the other point that you gave us, which was 1, x was 1, and then 2 was y. So 1,
Mhm.
2.
Mhm.
So then
Perfect.
I put in the points
Mhm.
for the y equals mx plus b, and I said, and then it was 2 equals 1 times 1 plus
Mhm.
b.
Mhm.
1 times 1 equals 1. And I did, underneath it, I did 2 equals 1 plus b and
Mhm.
subtracted 1 on both sides
Mhm.
to get 1 equals b.
Mhm.
So then I put the slope and the intercept back into
Mhm.
the equation, and
Mhm.
I said y equals 1x plus 1 or y equals x plus 1.
Mhm. Gotcha. Perfect. All right. And then this is, so we're gonna start with this one first, right? So then we wanna show the line 1, 2 is parallel to line negative 1, 3, and 2 and 6. So let's first of all we need to calculate the slope, right? So we all know, if I start with this one first, we all know that the slope, right, like you mentioned, is equal to x2 hold on, I'll take that. So yep, so it's equal to y2 minus y1, right, over x2, right, minus x1. So if I look at this is my x1, right, and this is my y1, right, and this is my x2, and this is my y2, right? So that would give you 6, right? 6 minus 3 is equal to 2. So 2 minus 1 So minus 1 minus 1, that will give you what? Plus 1, right? So then that will give you 3 over 3, right? And which is equal to 1. So, and then if we remember the definitions of the slope is the definition of the equation of the line. So this is our m1 is m1 is equal to m2, right? Which is also equal to 1. So now we got that. Now we're gonna do the second part, which is this part. We're gonna find the equations. So as we know, that one only it has 1 point, right? 1 and 2. So we know that so that would be y minus y1 is equal to m x x minus x1, right? So that will give you x minus x1. So if we do that, so this is our x1, right? And this is our y1. So that will give you y minus 1 is equal to the slope is 1, right? So factor x minus x1, which is 1 as well. So if you do that, like you mentioned, you put plus 1 each side. So you have your y equal to x, right? Um, minus 1, right? So this one goes on this side. So you have plus 1 here. So okay, I'm missing something. This one is 2. Oh, so I take that back. This y is 2. Yeah, I was gonna be like something is not right. Right. So y is 2. So 2. So you put plus 2 each side. So you have x1 and then you have what? Plus 2, right? So that's how you get x equal to 1. X plus 1. Y equal to x plus 1. So this is your final equation for the parallel. So that conclude the equations with parallel line. Any questions on the parallel? Anybody? Any question? Then we move to perpendicular. I have some more examples. Those are graphs, so we can look into that later when we finish the perpendicular. Then we look into whatever homework y'all have. So let's move to perpendicular. I'm assuming the parallel. Everybody is good with that for now. All right. So perpendicular line. Two line with slope 1 and slope 2 are perpendicular only if slope 1 times slope 2 is equal to -1, right? So we have example problem 1, right? And I can try that one as well. And that one is say find an equation on a line that passes through the point 2, -1, uh, and is perpendicular to the line 4x plus y equal 2, right? So let's try that. So 2 -1 yx plus a 4x plus y equals 2. So let's move to that. Okay. So let's write. I'm gonna do the first example. So we have 2, right? And -1. And we have equations 4x plus y is equal to 2. So the question is find an equation of the line that passes to point 2, -1. and is also perpendicular to the line yx plus y 4x plus y equal 2. And we can also get our equation of line here. We know mx plus b equal to y. So this is our equation of line. So let's see if we can write this equation like that. So let's see if we can write this equation like that. So we have y here. So we have 4x plus y equal to 2. So I need a y, right? So all I need to do, what I do is I move the 4x on the other side, right? So then I'm gonna have y equal to, if 4x going next to the 2 on the 2 side, then you change the sign. Right now it's positive sign, so it will change to negative signs, right? So negative 4x, then you have plus 2. So 2 don't change the sign. So this is your equations. And if you look at these equations, uh, so you will see that your slope of this equation is negative 4, right? So your m1 is equal to negative 4. And we all know that, so we all know that our definitions for perpendicular line is if you have m, they are perpendicular if m1, m2 is equal to negative 1, right? So now let's use the slope and then do the equations of 2 minus 1, right? Let's try that. And we know that for the required line must have a slope of 1 over 4 is to be perpendicular to given line, right? So for this line to be perpendicular to this line that we're going to do, the M2 must be 1 over 4, right? So as you can see, so how did we get that, right? So we know M1 is equal to negative 4, so you can plus on that equation here. So you would know that your negative 4, right, times M2 is equal to negative 1. So that's how I got M2. So your M2 is equal to 1 over 4. So now let's get the equations for that, right? For the second line. So we get here, when you look at this, so we have y minus, which is minus 1. This is y1 and this is x1. So this one will be y minus y1, so minus 1, so that would be plus 1, right? So y plus 1 is equal to the slope m2, which is 1 over 4. So 1 over 4, right? X, factor of x, what is it? So x minus x1. So our x1 is 2, so x minus 2, right? So then we get our y equal to, so that would give us 1 over 4 x minus 2 over 4, right? Then you have 1 here, so minus 1. So your y equal to 1 over 4 x, right? Minus 3 over 2, right? So it's going to be 4. So that will give you minus 6 over 4. So that will give you minus 3 over 2, right? So this is our equations of this section. Any question?
I didn't get that.
Which part? I can
The
repeat.
overall, the overall
Overall?
answer. Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't
What
get.
did you get?
I got y equals 1 over 4x plus 1 half.
Plus 1/2?
Yeah,
Okay. Let's see how did you get 1/2. So, okay, you got it from here, right? From here you got it. So we have y plus 1 equal 1 over 4 factor x minus 2, which is this 2, right? So I'm using the formula y minus y1, right, is equal to m factor of x minus x1. So look at your calculation. Probably something is missing. So I just do the y1 is here minus 1. So x minus 1. So that would be y plus 1. Sorry, y minus 1. That will give you y plus 1. And the slope is 1 over 4. So which is 1 over 4. And this section is x minus, right? X1. So your x1 is 2. So x minus 2. So now if you put plus negative 1 on each side, so this 1 can be on this side. So you have y equal to 1 over 4x, right? And minus 2 over 4 minus 1. So minus 2 over 4 minus 1. So that would give you 4. So minus 4 minus 2 minus what? 6. Divide by 4. So 6 over 4 is also 3 over 2. Can you see where you got your mistake? So it's where you got 1 over 2.
I'm trying to solve it. I'm trying to solve it
Okay.
now.
Okay.
I still got the same answer.
Huh. I don't know how you got it. Would you mind sharing? let's figure out your problem. That will also help us to learn as well.
Yeah. But I have a question too. Where
Okay.
did y plus 1 equals 1/4 x minus 2 come from?
Okay. All right. So let me do this. Sometimes this. How am I gonna make this big? Okay. All right. Give me 1 second. I do another one. Let me just go
Wait,
to.
quick question. So you said
Uh
it
huh.
was y minus y1, right? So it was
Yes.
you put y plus 1.
Yes, because this y is minus one. So right. So it would be y minus right minus one. So maybe I jumped that section, right? Is equal to. So you see the
Okay.
y. So you have two and negative one,
Yeah.
and the formula is y. The formula is y minus y1, right? And if you look at your y1 is negative 1, right? So you have your y minus, right? Minus 1, right? So that would be y plus 1. You find that part? You got it, that part?
Yeah, I
Anastasia,
got
you
it.
follow me? Okay. So now we move to the other section of the slope equations. So 1 over 4. You know how we got 1 over 4, right?
Yeah, we did the opposite reciprocal.
That's right. Okay, so that's good. So now, so what about this side? So that one side is x minus x1. So our x1, if you look at it here, I'm gonna put a different color, I guess. Um, so if you can see here, the x1 is 2, right? So that will give a 1 over 4 factor x minus 2. You got that part as well? So I just use the formula
Yes.
there. Right. So, and then if you do that, maybe from there yours should be fine to go. So you have y plus. So you have y plus one, right? So y plus one equal to 1/4 factor x minus two. So plus one here. So I put negative one and negative one go on the other side. So this one become y. So you have 1/4 times x, 1/4 x, 1/4 times negative 2. That will give you minus 2 over 4 minus negative 1, right? So if you do that, then all I did, so y equal to 1/4 x. So you have negative 2 over 4, negative 1. That will give you negative 6 over 4, and that's also 3 over 2. You got it? You want me to break that one down?
Yeah. Yeah,
That
I got it. I got the answer now.
okay, good. So the main point in here that we need to really pay attention is these formulas, right? They are these formulas. So this one, they are perpendicular if m1 m2 equal to negative 1. Remember that, and also the slope equations. All right. So now, since you do you have any homework, so we can you any homework that you have, we go over that, or we can try the example. This is the one we did, so we can try example one. But if you have homework, we're gonna prioritize that one first. Any homework?
Yeah, I have homework.
All right. Would you mind?
What I mind what?
Anastasia, what did you say?
You were muted.
Yeah, I was muted, and I was saying that if you have a homework, let's work on those exercise. Which one you have? Would you mind sharing?
My screen.
How am I go? Yeah, maybe your screen is fine, or text it on the chat.
Okay, I got the chat.
Since they are doing they are sharing the screen on YouTube. I don't know how it works. If you show your screen, actually, maybe you might be able to share your screen because they are just showing my screen. So
I can do the what's it called? The chat.
that's fine too. You can do the chat. You can post it on the chat. I haven't received yet, so I'm gonna write this one down here, and so everybody can see. This is a multiple choices, or is just like a? Did I give a multiple? Is a multiple choice?
It's a multiple choice.
Would you mind take that screenshot and put it there too, if you don't mind? So I'll give you a trick for multiple choice as well. All right. So the question is, I'm gonna put that one here, which is an equation uh, of I'll fix that with a slope of 1/4 and a y inter and a y-intercept of -2, um, of -2. So these are the questions. And make it big. So this is a question. So you have a 4 minus y 4x minus y minus 4y equal 8, and your b take that back, and your b 14, and b is x plus plus 4y equal, I think something I would say negative is -8. Okay. All right, and then c, right? C is x Now 4x, right, plus y equal -2. And d is 4x minus y equal 2, right? All right, so how we do that? So we know that which an equation of the slope, and we definitely know we definitely know that our equation of slope is equal to y. Okay, I'm gonna put solution, right? So we know that our equation of line equal y equal to m, right? X plus b. Okay. So in that case, they already give us a slope. So that means that our m equal to uh, equal to 1/4, right? And what is a y-intercept? So y-intercept of -2, right? So we know what that means, right? So your b is equal to, right, -2. That's your y-intercept, right? Y-intercept is if, right, so you are passing through y, so your x is equal to 0, right? So if we want to write that equation, that will give us to y equal to slope 1/4, right? X, right? Minus 2, right? So if you also want to write that one, that can also be like what? So you're over 1/4, so you can also have 4, right? Y equal, right? X, right? Minus, so 4 times 2, say 8, right? So now if you move your x on the other side, what do you get? Right? So that will give us uh, 4y minus x, right, is equal to -8, right? So if you look at your sections, which one look like that, right? So y equal to 1/4x minus 2. So you have 4y minus x minus 4y equal x minus 8. And then you have 4y minus x equal -8. So do we even have that, right? So we have this guy, right? So something is kind of, I don't see this on 4y, so it has to be one of these two. But I don't see the sign, something is wrong with our sign. But it's not also wrong, you can fix it, right? So you can also time everything with -8, right? So what you get, a time multiply everything by -8. So you get -4y, right? Plus x equal 8, right? If you want to rewrite that, you can also rewrite that as uh, x, right, minus 4y equal 8. So that would give you a a1. Understood? So I'm gonna just do it here, right? So you have a slope of 1/4, and you have an y-intercept of -2. We know what is intercept means. Y-intercept means The anything on the x line is 0, so you are on the y line, so that's -2. So your equation would be y equal to 1 over 4 x minus 2. So this is your equation. So then usually when I do on this, I like to look at on my table what look like this. If you want now, then what do you do? So you have 4, you want to get out rid of the 4. So 4, you divide what? You time everything by 4, right? So then you will have 4y is equal to 4 over 4x. So I'll do slowly, minus 2 times 4, right? That's how you get 4y equal to x minus 8. So by then if you look at it, your multiple choice, you don't see anything that look like that. So you have to still do some work, right? So you move the, if you really want, you can move the y here and move the 8 on the other side. So what that would be? So that would be x, right? Minus 4y is equal to, you move the negative a, so it become 8. And if you look at this look like your the a value, so that would be a. Any question?
Um,
um Let me slow down a little bit, but do you have any question or should I go slowly?
you can you please go slower?
Yes, I can. Sorry about that. So let's try to, do you mind if you, this fine, this is fine here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So what we are trying to do, the question is they want us to write an equations with the slope of 1 over 4 and a y-intercept of -2. That's what we need to understand, right? And for us to do that, we have to know our equation of line, which with the slope. And based on the equation of the lines, we have y equal mx plus b, right? So we know our slope is, they say, they give us that the slope is 1 over 4. So the slope is 1 over 4. And what is b, right? B is the y-intercept, right? Y-intercept means that that line passed through y where x is equal to 0. So that means that our b on this equation of line is -2. So are we clear on these sections? Because if
Yeah.
this is a part that we need to understand, if we understand this one, the rest we can make it easy. So do you understand this one? So they want us to write the equations, right? The equation that give us, they give what is given. So usually this is my strategies, right? If I solve a problem, I ask myself what I have been given. What do they give it to me that can give me a clue, right? And then my next question I'll ask myself, what are they looking for, right? So I'll write those one down. You like my given and my what I'm looking for. So my given is the slope and the y-intercept. And what I'm looking for is the equation of the line. They want you to write, they want me to write the equation. And they give me the slope, they give me the y-intercept. And I know I have an equation for that. I have an equation of line, which say that y equal mx plus b. And m is my slope and b is my y-intercept, right? So that's my equation. Now I go to my slope 1 over 4th, my b -2. Did we understand that part? How I write that equations?
Yes, I understand.
That's good. So now we write y equal my mouse is freezing. But you have y equal to 1 over 4 of x minus 2, right? So now what we are looking for, if you get to that level, you write the equation. The question is this one look like anything of your multiple choices A, B, C, and D? If I did not have these multiple choices A, B, C, D, I'm done. This is my equations, right? So, but they want you to look at it, which equation look like this. So in reality, if you look at this one, none of this look like this. So you have to do a little bit work. And then my trick in here is, you know that you have 8, you have um, -8, right? But you don't have that in your equation, but you have -2 and 2 in that equation. When you see this one, you'll be like, which one it is, because you still don't know what it is. You don't know what is a clue is. But you know one clue, that they have 4y in these two equations, right? But they don't have 4y on this. Then how can we get a 4y here? And then know that you have 1 over 4 in here, right? So then what you can do, you multiply every section to 4, right? So then by doing that, you will see that you have 4y, 4 divided by 4 times x equal to x, and you will have -2 times 4, that will give you 8. Okay. And then this is what I did on the drawing. So sorry, my computer is freezing. As you can see, I don't know what is going on. Okay. My computer is freezing a little bit, but yeah. So we got that part right. So we did that. Any question from there?
No.
Okay, so you know that if you look at your equation, none of the equation look like they're multiple choices. But you know you have 4x somewhere, you have 4y somewhere. But if you look at your equation, you can never get a 4x here, because you are 1 over 4, which basically you have x divided by 4. So you would never get a 4x here. Definitely that would took out C and D. C and D is never gonna be your answer, because you don't, if you look at your equation, you will never get a 4 times x, but you can get a 4 times y. So that means you have 4 times y here, you have 4 times y there. So your answer would be either be A, or it would either be B, right? So now you gotta figure out how it is A or B. Then that's what you need to do. You time everything by 4, you get 4y. 4 divided by 4 times x, so that will give you 1x, minus 2 times 4, that will give you -8, right? Now, if you also look at it now, you have 4y, right? You have 4y, so that's good. This part is good. Now you have x on this side, so you want to put x and y to the same side, because that's what the equation look like. So that's why you move your x on this side, right? And again, you can move your x on this side, or you can move your y on that side, and move your real value 8 on the other side. That's what I did it here. So I moved the x on this side, so you have 4y um, negative x equal -8. But if you also look at it, none of this look like this too. So then I time everything by -4. So you got negative by negative basically. So I have -4y, -8, negative x, negative x, negative time negative, that will give you plus x, -8 time negative, that will give you 8. So if you look at it, this one look like the first one. You have -4, which is -4. You have plus x, which is plus x, equal 8, equal 8. So that's why you get A. Any question there?
No, I just put my I took the y equals 1/4 x minus 2, and then I put it in
Okay.
standard form, and that's how I got
Okay.
my
What is the
answer.
standard? What is the standard form did you get? So what did you get? Let me see what did you get. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
What's
you.
going on? Oh, okay. I thought it's my computer keeps spinning. Yeah. So you got from y equal negative 4x minus 2. From there, what did you do?
I subtracted um 1/4 x on both sides, so then I got negative 1/4 x plus y equals negative
Okay.
2.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
then
That's one, two. You can do that too. Uh huh.
I multiplied everything, the whole equation, by negative 4, and then it
Okay.
crossed
Okay.
out. Yeah, it crossed out the the negative 4 on the negative 1/4. So then I got
Okay.
1x, and then
Okay.
I multiplied negative 4 and y. So I got negative
Okay.
4y, and then I
Okay.
multiplied negative 4 and negative 2 to get 8. And that's how I got my
Perfect.
answer.
That's perfect. So that worked too. So that's the answer. But the main thing is this what that's matter. So know your equation of slope. That's what they are talking about slope. Know what is your slope and know what your intersection. Then you write this one. Then you can do the rest. The bottom line is if you stop here, some people might stop here, but none of them is this doesn't match to any of your ABCD. So you need to you know what I mean that you need to go further. So that's what you did, and you come up to be your answer is A, right?
Right. That was my
Okay,
answer.
so if okay, that's good. So if you have another one, you can post that one as well. Then we can do that, and I think from there you got it. Computer is freezing. Hello.
I'm here.
Okay, if you can add the other questions, one more question if you have, so we can also go through that. Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you, but my computer is still spilling. I don't know what happened.
Okay. Um, I think I should put this one in the chat.
Okay, yeah, put on the chat. That's fine. Are you writing?
I am.
Okay, all right. Just making sure. I don't know if my